Hi, I'm Jeremy Carroll from Movieguide, and you join me on the black carpet of The Chosen Last Supper Season 5 world premiere. It's going to be an awesome video with lots of interviews from the cast and crew, so stick around. So this show has grown, as has the story. How's that been, the process of the story getting bigger along with the show?
Isn't that cool? And I remember, I'll never forget this, Movieguide, when you guys first were reviewing the first 4 episodes, you predicted that this was going to be one of the biggest things in the faith space in history. And I was like, oh, that's bold, and don't put that pressure on me. But isn't it fun to see how the show has grown with the story? Yeah. Season 1, Jesus is just starting his ministry. He's in a small town, just a few followers. That's our story. We started small. We originally started on my friend's farm in Illinois, and the show had a small amount of viewers. People were having a hard time finding it. And now we get to season 5. Jesus is entering the big city, the holy city. There's millions of people showing up, his friends, his enemies. And I think that season 5 is coming out to our friends and our enemies at the same time. And so it's been a really beautiful process.
That's awesome. And what is one key moment from season 5 specifically that you think will really resonate with audiences, and why?
Well, I'll give you 2 just because the opening of the season, I think right off the bat, I don't want to spoil it, but do not be late to episode 1. I think you've seen it, right? So we get you right into the mix of it immediately. And from what I've heard, even from screenings, people are saying that they were weeping right off the bat. So I don't want, that's one for sure, one moment. But I also think the triumphal entry, seeing all the people worshiping Jesus, I know filming it was extraordinary. It was very moving, very humbling. But then when you know the stakes involved and you know what's coming, I think it makes it even more personal.
Yeah. So as the show has grown and gotten bigger, the story's gotten bigger, how have you grown through this process?
A lot of deadlift and a lot of squat. I would say maybe, what is it, in pounds kilo is like a 10, no, I'm just kidding. No deadlift and no squats. I tell you how I've grown. I've met incredible people that have taught me how to be a better human being. From Dallas Jenkins, the leader of this group, who leads by example and makes you just, you can't not follow that. You cannot want to be like him, because it's intoxicating how he is. It cannot rub on you that you want to be like him. And the group of these incredible and amazing cast that we have, the love and the generosity, I became a better human being from being around those people, because I'm like a sponge. I'm trying to get as much as I can from those beautiful human beings. So that's the best thing about it.
This show has really grown since season 1. What is one aspect of your character that's really grown over these seasons?
Oh, wow. Character. I think we see her as someone very grounded. And we see her as, as much as Jesus obviously doesn't need anyone to advise him, she definitely is someone who can be a connection to the human world for him. I really see her as that. And even act as a sounding board sometimes, because sometimes you don't, as humans, it's because Jesus is half human, we just need to have someone that will listen to us without judgment. And I think that's who she is for him. And it's something that has surprised me, that we've been seeing her role as someone that is just older and a little wiser, even for the disciples too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what is one thing that you think audiences can get out of this season specifically and kind of walk away with?
Oh my gosh, it's such an iconic season. It really is. And I think the way things unravel, I think a better understanding of how, because I know for sure it was always hard for me to grasp how he could have walked into Jerusalem loved by everyone and be dead within a week, less than a week. And so it's really what this show does best, and it gives us such great historical context about everything that you really do get it, but like you get it in a deeper level. And I think it makes you fall in love with these characters even more.
What is a big part of your personal life that's really grown as the show has grown?
Probably my addiction to Super Smash Bros. I think that's the biggest thing that has sort of grown with the show, because when you feel like how much you can destroy your fellow castmates, it becomes like almost like Sauron in the ring. You kind of can't let it go. But in a real sense, what has grown is my gratitude, honestly. I feel like I'm just so grateful for the show. I'm grateful for the people in it, the people behind it, the people that we get to play. I am forever grateful for this. And the fact that we get to be here celebrating it with all of you, it's just like the cherry on top. And for me, when we get to show up day by day and you're sitting in the hair and makeup room and you're just getting ready for the day, or you're looking your fellow castmates in the eyes, that to me is just the gift. And this is just like fun and crazy, and then we get to go back to work.
That's awesome. I love it. And what is one key moment from season 5 that you think will really resonate with audiences and give them something to walk away with?
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to say when we enter the city of Jerusalem for the first time this season, we are met with such love and cheering and singing. It was so honestly jarring to us to be met with that much energy and love. It was super humbling, but there's something that comes along with that, is that there's so much jubilation, that the flip side of that is that you realize that this might be, or really is, one of the last times that they all are together in that kind of jubilant state. And you realize that it will never go back to that. It transforms and changes into something else, but that moment in time, it happens, and then before you know it, it's gone. And you have to deal with the ramifications of that, and we try to deal with the ramifications of that the entire season.
How has your hair evolved over these 5 seasons?
Usually gets longer and grayer.
Mine's gotten longer, for sure. It's funny seeing me in like season 1. I've got like short hair. It's makes me look younger. I wish I could cut my hair now and make myself look younger again.
You can't cut it anymore.
No cutting.
So as the show has gotten bigger, the story's gotten bigger over the seasons, how have you feel that you've grown as actors over the last 5 seasons?
Every season has challenged us in such a crazy way. Weather conditions, and it's so hard to do a show that's trying to pretend like there's no technology around. We're surrounded by technology every day. So I've learned so much about the not so many luxuries that you have when you're, filming on a 300-acre ranch with nothing and nowhere, anyone around. So this show tests us, and I think that if I ever get to a point where, there can be a light post can just be a light post, then I got an easy day ahead of me. This show's prepared me for absolutely anything, and I've already put it to the test on other sets.
No, it's. I think you learn a lot as an actor being on a show like week in, week out, day in, day out. And there's actually a really cool. You should watch it. It's on YouTube. There's Dennis Hopper is talking about how James Dean used to work and how he didn't block out items from the set. He would accept them and kind of use them so he wasn't kind of distracted. And when you have like the triumphant entry and you have 600 background artists who are also fans of the show, you really, as an actor, sometimes you could be like, oh, am I just going to drown that out? No, use that. And we totally did. And that scene, when you watch it in season 5, is going to pop. And I don't think the depiction of that has been done on any other project about Jesus's life. I really love how we made that a celebration, because it sets up for the rest of the season, which takes a more emotional turn.
Yeah, I feel like it's a perfect tee up for the rest of the season. What's one great moment from this season that you think audiences will really resonate with?
Great moment from the season that we'll resonate with. I mean,
there's too many on this one. I think that they're going to get a really beautiful glimpse into Jesus's personal struggle with what is to come. And I think Jonathan does an incredible job. The character, separating himself from the disciples, taking that moment to the side and really taking it all in one last time. And I think that's just so touching and heartbreaking. And I think fans are going to just they're going to go.
It's a bit of a sellout answer, but the Last Supper, because also we all had an actual Passover meal as practice, as education and research. And so you are going to see the full what happens at Passover. So that's kind of something people forget. They call it the Last Supper, but it probably should be called the Last Passover meal. So yeah, and that's kind of how it's portrayed in the show. You know, people are like, we'll make sure that this is his last Passover. So yeah, it's really awesome.
So this show has grown each season. How do you feel that you've grown over these seasons?
Me or Tamar?
Both.
Right, that's the question. For me, I think I've not only grown as an artist, but I've learned how to be vulnerable with people because I've had such a family. Like, I was blessed with such a family when I came onto this show. And as an artist, Dallas is an actress, director, okay? And he taught me to have such a confidence now. And it shows in all the other work that I've done since starting on The Chosen. That's me. And also, I live in gratitude now. It was something I think we spend so much time wanting and yearning for something instead of kind of appreciating the journey to get there. And now I've learned to live with gratitude. As far as Tamar, I think she's found her place. She worked so hard to figure out who she was and to be important and to have purpose, and I think she's found that.
She's more confident this season. It's cool. It's really cool. What is one major moment from this season that audiences are going to walk away with and talk about for years?
Oh, I don't know if I can say it. Oh, there's a scene. There is a scene with all of the women. It's beautiful. It's maybe one of the most impactful scenes that I've done. And there's a lot of them on this show, but it's one of the most impactful scenes that I've done since being on the show, having all the women there. It was such an intimate, vulnerable, beautiful scene.
What's it like playing this role, getting the gift of this role and the dynamics of this role? It's a gift. It's a great gift. You don't get roles like this every day or every decade or ever. So, I'm just thrilled to get the material, to look at the words, to go, oh my God, I get to do this. It's as an actor, as an artist, it's like somebody handed you a piece of Mozart that nobody's seen before, and you get to be the first guy to do it. It's great writing.
Yeah. And what is one key moment, do you think, from this season that's really going to resonate with the audience?
That from season
5.
You'll see it tonight. It's in episode 2. Between me and Caiaphas, we have a sit down at my quarters at a table, and it becomes explosive. I think there's a new upstart magician in town, and he's ruffling my feathers, and Caiaphas is putting it in my face. What are we going to do? What do we do with this guy? And so I don't like it, and so I have to be the negotiator, the leader. I don't know how good he is at it. I don't know.
Jumping into this arena of like sand and sandals, how's it been?
It's nice to get shoes back on. It's been incredible, I think having the opportunity to film House of David and to see the success that's followed us, it's been awesome. It's been something that I wouldn't say we expected it, because I don't think we did, but has been overwhelming and incredible to see the response.
And what are some of the responses you're getting from fans who, they take these things very seriously?
Yeah. Incredibly serious, and I think that was something that we knew when we were filming this, and I think we have really felt it since. And the fact that we had such a good team that were adamant we were truthful and honest to the story was very important for all the actors. And I'm glad we had those guys in control, because as an actor you can probably go a little bit left and right sometimes, not to be disrespectful to the character or the story, but just our job as an actor is to push boundaries. And this was one of those things where I think it was very important that the boundaries were specific and they were respected, and they really were, and I think that was very useful and helpful for us to have.
All right. Okay. So talk me through some of the challenges and rewards of doing such like a big, massive, iconic season this year.
Well, it's the most famous week in human history, Holy Week. So the challenge is in subverting or people have a lot of expectations, because if people, maybe if they go to church, they've, waved palm branches on Palm Sunday. Maybe on Maundy Thursday, they've washed somebody's feet. Maybe on Good Friday, they've helped read aloud the account, or maybe been in a pageant or something to reenact it. So it's like in people's muscle memory, and they think they know it. And so sometimes viewers can go into a kind of like autopilot when the material is so familiar. So the challenge has been, how do we take this and make it feel fresh, make it feel new, alive? Of course, remaining faithful to what's there in the text as our bedrock of what we're writing from, but making it surprising. And you'll see tonight. I will see. I think there's some surprises in there.
And you've integrated some elements of like espionage and some of the like political intrigue. Has that been pretty fun to kind of weave that into the story?
We love that, and we feel like that was a part of the story. The text leads us to an understanding, or at least a suspicion, that the politics of the day played such a huge role, and not only in the forces working against Jesus, but the plan Jesus devised himself. We really had to get down at ground level and spend some time in almost a genre movie, taking you through the cloak and dagger of it all. And we have a lot of fun doing that. That just means more time at the whiteboard for us and more time together, incidentally.
This season really starts off with a bang, and it's kind of unique for this season, I feel like. And as the seasons have grown and the show's grown, how do you feel you've grown as writers working on this project?
Well, I hope we've gotten better. I think we've improved since day one. A lot of the DNA that makes the writing what it is has been there from day one. I think now we're just more in a groove. And so the drafts, they come a little quicker. It's not easier, but we can see more because we've been working with the same people for so long, like our actors, our department heads in production. We sort of know what people's strengths are, and we could write to those strengths.
That's a wrap from the black carpet of Season 5 of The Chosen. Please subscribe and like this video and share it with your friends if you love The Chosen. And please check out our review at movieguide.org.
If you enjoy videos that follow your values like ours and you want to help us continue, go to movieguide.org/donate, because we're actually a nonprofit. You may not know that, but we're working in Hollywood every day to help families have more choices that follows their values. And also subscribe right now.